the Two of Clubs is your card, and this is the conversation card. The talkative, the ones who have a successful life path, who have the brilliant mind to support their quick and tentative tongue, because their tongue is so quick. And this card suggests that you can you can more than hold your ground when dealing with debate or any exchange when it comes of intelligence of any kind. So they're always great. You always have great interest when dealing with people. You have a natural curiosity regarding your emotional life. And so we talking about the two. We always talking about unity. We talking about the mother and the father principle together. It's like the light and darkness together, action and reaction. So this stands for cooperation and association. So with this being said, so you the Two of Clubs, you deal strictly with the mind, unity of the minds. And so with this being said, you are impulsive and hot-headed. You tend to make fast conclusions, and the first reaction is always on the opposite side of the argument. And you never lack for an answer, and you're very positive in your opinions, which means that you never lack an answer because you can answer anything. That I mean, and you try to bring facts as much as you could, but you're also very positive in your opinion, so you can come in a positive way. And so your mental powers permits the ability to describe leadership qualities. Your mental powers, I say your mental powers implies and gives you the opportunity to demonstrate leadership qualities. That I mean, and brings about opportunities that deals with communication in the mind. And so this suggests that you can excel in almost anything that you try to do. And so the Two of Clubs, you often have some artistic or dramatic talent, and you can make good money with the writing, with ideas, with instruction. So you are easygoing, and you are a good lover. You know what I mean? So you are attracted to successful people, and you like to feel satisfied. So as the Two of Clubs, you have a fortunate ground to achieve great success and be well rewarded materially, because you know how to get most of the business aspects. That I mean, you know how to run a business. You know the business aspects is a part of your vibration. For you know how to find the weak spots in others, so you know how to deal with people. That I mean, so you are responsible and are willing to work hard. You are often well recognized in your middle age. This is when you really shine in your works, and so you like your work. You know what I mean, to be fundamental and practical. So this is very important to you to have a practical and fundamental improvement in your life. So self growth through the knowledge, through the word, is definitely you. So your friends are helpful, and you can become business partners with your friends, because as the Two of Clubs, children, you must be taught not to fear your parents' displeasure, not to conceal your feelings, not to feel that the whole world is against you, and that there's no strike the first blow and fight it. Yeah, so there's no I'm gonna strike you first. That I mean, to fight it, you're gonna let it out. I mean, whatever you got in you. So your soul wants divine wisdom, and your heart wants cooperation. So you should not be afraid of the inner dark in you, and let it out. You know what I mean? You got to bring the spiritual aspect with you and balance it out. So it is known that you, as the Two of Clubs, that you fear divine knowledge. But once you recognize that your inner strength, and that's part of your inner strength, the divine knowledge, I mean, this is when you succeed, and this usually in your 40s or after 40. You start seeking the things of the higher mind, and this will help you. You know what I'm saying? As the Two of Clubs, so don't fear the inner darkness in you or the knowledge that's supposed to help you. But a lot of you do. You know what I mean? But later on in your years, this is when you bring it together. It come up out you. You know what I mean? You seek the higher minds. And many of you become involved in secret societies and the cults and spiritual organizations and things like that. You know what I mean? and you attain high positions. Because you need an outlet. You need an outlet for your rare abilities. You know what I mean? Because you got a talent. If you activate it, you know what I mean? And this is what you will enjoy. Your talent of, intellectual conversation, bring people together, unity, and as a peacemaker. You know what I mean? And you got a talent of cooperation, association, being a diplomat. So you got a very good talent. So you must develop your intuition, because a lot of tools got psychic ability. You know what I mean? That's already developed in them, but they got to activate it. So you got to activate that. So patience is a part of you, and the ability to nurture others. So this is the great talent, and this gives you freedom to be the way you are instead of being forceful in any addictive behavioral patterns. So as the club suit, you know what I mean, this deals with the mind. So this deals with the mental processes, the psychological reaction, all communications, the message. It deals with, you can argue, debate, and you be good at it. You know what I mean? Because you can bring the facts. This deals with bringing the facts. This deals with spreading the news. This deals with investigation, writing. You know what I mean? Communication, definitely, like I say. So clubs rules education of all forms, and clubs rules, you know what I mean, legal matters, the law, especially the two. The two definitely will be on the law, because they deal with harmony and justice and all that there. So with this being said, and so since this deal with the mind, that's your most powerful weapon. So you are a deep thinker. So reflection is a part of you, and solving any problems in an effective way and rational manner will be you. So you, as a clubs, like most clubs, are very active and can be aggressive. Since you're a two, you'll be most likely passive aggressive. So that being said, you already know your greatest weapon is your mind. So anybody attacking your thoughts or your ideas may become your greatest enemy. And you do well in occupations which provide you an opportunity to share your thoughts, to share your knowledge or your mind powers. So this is very important. And so teaching, the law, writing, counseling, anything deal with communication is definitely is part of your strength, and what you should get into. So much a conversationalist, you know what I mean, and you so much in feel the need of people. Some of you are fearful of nearly everything, especially being alone, and you will do everything in your power to make sure you're surrounded by people who admire you and who you can talk to. So your whole list is people you admire or who you can talk to. And if you can't talk to them, that you probably would take them off your list. But anyway, you are sociable and you enjoy a good, stimulating conversation, an intellectual conversation, and also, that I mean, any conversation will do, especially an intellectual conversation, because it's the two of clubs. Got some two of clubs who's isolated and appear to need no one, but in truth, they're just as afraid and always have one special person to whom who is attached to them. See what I'm saying? So all twos got some type of attachment. It deals with unity. But you also can have interfere or death or change. You can be fixed. But see, and this can explain much of your behavior. But you got to understand, you are people who are gifted with natural abilities. You know what I mean? You have many gifts, especially when dealing with the mind and psychic. You know what I mean? You actually have one of the most fortunate life paths. So there's much protection surrounding this card, and you have much to be grateful for. So if you simply recognize the abundance in your life, this will help you to X out all fears. I mean, two of clubs, you simply love to talk and share your ideas. You have an incredible mind that can make the fine distinctions. You know what I'm saying? Which you can know what is true, what is right. You can make a classification. You can separate them. Since you can do all that, I mean, you're always seeking through the truth, and you're dissecting and the coding, so you could dissect what is real and what ain't, or what isn't real. So you also have a credible mind that can make the finest distinction, and that can dissect, and that can decode things, because you are charming and you have a very good intellectual sense of humor. You know what I mean? Unless you are caught up in your fears, which can make you irritable and argumentative. Because a lot of tour clubs can be argumentative. Your challenge is to accept things as the way they are, especially yourself and your close relationships. And don't look for everything to be so perfect. You are some of the most physical, beautiful, attractive, and intelligent people. I mean, you as the two of clubs people, no matter if you're male or female. And when people look at you, they could almost, you know what I mean, and most likely will desire you, or you know what I mean, or come to you because you got the coolness, so everybody love your good spirit. For the matter, you can have almost anyone you desire. This is more of the traits in the two of clubs females than males. You base your relationships on something that's more a reflection of you, and also something more that's reflection of your inner wellness, of self love, rather than any other factor. So if you didn't have that inborn fear, you know what I mean, and it wasn't recognized and confronted, you would settle for anyone just so you won't be alone. You will settle for anyone and anything. So sometimes that fear is good because it alerts you to let you know what type of person this is. Or you might, you know what I'm saying, even mess with anybody like who's abusive, psychotic, or weird in some way. So with this being said, to some people you may appear that way too. Now you may appear to be weird. That I mean, so but you can mess with people who are psychotic or weird and abusive. So you got to watch out because you got that inborn fear that truly describe you. You know what I mean, and that truly help you in certain circumstances. How you utilize it. Not to say that fear is bad, because it ain't for you to have fear, but sometimes, you know what I mean, that fear is on point. So when you don't recognize your fear, when you don't know yourself, you know what I mean, this could lead for you to codependence and depend on others and have undesirable relationships. That I mean, and it can go sour. You often choose a mate who's very sexual, argumentative, and aggressive, and that as you as the two of clubs yourself can be the instigator of an argument that come up from time to time. So you as the two of clubs has the kind of mind that can pick others apart and find all their mistakes and shortcomings. But it doesn't seem to help you in your actual choices that you make for yourself and your relationships. So many of you have been known to choose a mate who is less than ideal in many respects. Because when you got that type of mind, this is very psychic. Psychics read energy. So if you can read energy, and your mind can pick up energy, and you can see energy, and you can know what this energy means, this is psychic. And so you as the two of club, you got that ability. So this being said, and don't waste all your time, your energy, focus on your partners. Don't waste all your focus, time on your partners, because this could be the negative side of you, who could sit there and focus on your partner. It can be very critical. And so, just like how you could be critical with your partner, you know what I mean, you also need to look at yourself and don't be blind to your own self or the same stuff you criticize your partner about. And this, when you make a decision out of fear, the result is always a bigger problem than the original problem. Because when you're fearful, you're out of touch with your natural intuition. And so this is called for emergency situation. I mean, what you always seeking a remedy to solve the situation. Then it might not be as how you feel because you're living through fear instead of living through your balanced state, your calm state, or your intuition. You don't have nothing to fear. You know what I mean? Once you don't have nothing to fear, no replace it with true love. This is when your light start to shine. And this is when you face that fear and you discover new power within yourself. And it's the power of the spiritual world, the metaphysic world. That is definitely, you know what I mean, the secret knowledge you tap into. And you learn the orders, even of secret society, because you can see through them. You know what I mean? You can tap through what the Freemasons know. but that don't mean you're gonna be a Mason, because you can discover like they got some of the same knowledge, but you can even come more advanced to them as the Two of Clubs people. So your second card, which is your planetary ruling card that you should look up either on the internet or look at a video or audio. This is the second most important card. And those who born May the 30th, Gemini, if you're the Gemini, you're the King of Clubs, so look that up. June the 28th, the Cancer, the Seven of Spades. July the 26th, the Leo. This is your only second card, or most powerful card, is the Two of Clubs. This card right here is the same card. That's all you need to really look up. But they got other cards that you could look up. They're like a little aspects of you. But the second card is like sort of like the Sun card. I mean, because with your Sun card, which is this card right here, and your second card, which is a planetary ruling card, this is when you got a lot of information about yourself and know what way you should travel. This is what most needed. So August the 24th, the Virgo, yours the King of Clubs. September the 22nd, the Virgo of Libra, yours the King of Club or Jack of Diamonds. October the 20th, the Libra, yours the Jack of Diamonds. November the 18th, the Scorpio, yours the Four of Hearts and the Six of Spades. And you who born on December the 16th, let me correct myself. I'm talking too fast. But you who are born on December the 16th, you're the Sagittarius, which is the Four of Diamonds. Now, look up these cards. Look at the audio, the video, or research them. I mean, because this is your second most important card that I just named. Now, as I can't bring it to light, gets to realer than this. Ashe.